So news is spreading today that the jury in the Karen Read trial actually found her not guilty of murder. And apparently Auntie Bev knew this and I guess just wasn't going to say anything to anybody. So let me take you back a second. So Karen had three big charges against her. The first one was a second-degree murder charge. And anytime it's murder, whether it's first degree or second degree, it's with intent, right? You killed somebody, you meant to kill that person. So she's up for a second-degree murder charge. There was also a lesser manslaughter charge, but it was also tied to kind of this drunken driving under the influence thing. So it was a drunken driving manslaughter charge combination. And then there was the third one, which was leaving the scene. Well, it turns out that when it came to each separate count, because remember we talked about that voting sheet that they had, there was 3 different sections. The first section, which was the second degree murder, 12-0, they voted not guilty. And on the third count, which was that leaving the scene, 12-0, not guilty. Where they got hung up was in that middle section, which was really difficult to understand anyway, the way it was written. This is where they argued. This is where they were split. When they came out and shared that information with Auntie Bev, she knew how the jury had decided on each count, but she didn't tell anybody. She didn't say, okay, not guilty on this one and not guilty on this one, but this one is a split decision. She didn't do that. She just read that very eloquent note written by the foreman and went, guess we're at an impasse. And she tossed the entire thing into a mistrial when she knew damn good and well that that first charge was not guilty. She knew it. But they decided to come back and we're going to do this whole thing again. Fine. But they can't. Is that the jurors came forward and they said, nope, it was 12-0. We acquitted her of second-degree murder. Karen has been acquitted of that, so she can't be tried again for that in criminal court. Civil, yes, but not criminal court. It would be double jeopardy. You have the right as a defendant, if you're found not guilty by a jury of your peers, you don't have to go through it again. She was found not guilty by a jury of her peers, so they can't retry her for a criminal murder charge again. So Alan Jackson has filed an affidavit, and go see my friend Googe. I copied her below, but go see her because she's got the affidavit on her site and it's pretty clear. Jurors came forward to Jackson and Yannetti because they're starting to hear the press reports that they were undecided on all of the charges, and saying no. It was just the one charge we couldn't reach a decision on. We knew damn good and well she didn't murder him. And if you remember back to the very beginning, she was originally arrested and charged with manslaughter. And it wasn't until they came out of the grand jury, because of course all of the witnesses went into the grand jury and said, oh, yep, I heard her admit it. She said, I hit him. It was then that the grand jury decided, gosh, it sounds intentional. And that's where the second-degree murder charge came from. The prosecution, Lolly, all those witnesses, all of those cops, Proctor, all of them, they knew they didn't have enough to make a murder charge, but they tried it anyway. And the jury told them, get the fuck out of here. This is not a murder, by 12-0.